asset. Well, Bitcoin is the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay. But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business, it's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth.
You didn't have to cut me off. Think I like it never happened, that we were nothing. I don't even need your love. You treat me like a stranger and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Woo! What is going on, you guys? It is Dog Cost Crypto here. Well, what the hell is the Fed doing to the market, man? I'm joined by the one, the only, the fantastical, the chart god himself. Gosh damn, cultivatecrypto.com. Charlie, what's up?
We need like intro music, bro. Like best tag team in crypto. There was my favorite tag team back in the day from the WWF when it was still the WWF.
Yeah.
I forgot what the guys' names were, but they had like these spikes on their shoulders or whatever.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember their name, but like
the Dudley Boys?
No, like it was like they had a very interesting name, but I remember back in the day I went like my first wrestling event, my first WWF or whatever that I went to live. I came out there with fucking like styrofoam padded fucking spikes. And I was like, this is my day, bro. But like we need intro music with that.
Road Warriors.
There you go.
Yeah. Me, it was the Dudley Boys. I just loved how they just like they're just shoot. They were just like I literally remember them like lifting a chick in the air and just destroying her over a table.
Well, in the WCW era, it was Sting, Rey Mysterio Jr., and the Wolfpack, baby. You know, Moon Gang for life.
If you guys would give me a big favor, man, go click this link on Twitter, retweet this out, man. Let's get this out to as many people as freaking possible, man. This is gonna be a really good stream. We got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about today, man. But first, I guess for any of you guys who have messaged, no, I'm just gonna go do this whole medical ad thing. But yeah, man. But thank you guys so much for joining us, man. The stream today is about what the hell the Fed's doing to the market. What do we have upcoming, as well as how does it affect it? And some stuff is a little kind of counterintuitive. It's like it can be here, then goes there, and then goes here, and then goes there. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that happens. Like sometimes you get like this, and then you go right back to this, and then like that. So like the goddamn Charlie. But shout out to you, man. But first and foremost, man, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stream is brought to you by Crypto Mindset Q2, which is live right now, Ryan. Get in right now while you can. It's only available for about 3 more days, I would imagine.
Until the 25th, which is Tuesday at midnight Pacific Standard Time, baby. So however many days that is.
3 days and some change, basically, and that's it. And it's closed. Haram, you ain't getting in. That's it. And let me tell you this one, man. We've got a lot of people signing up right now. We are right now. If you have gotten the course, just wait. You will be getting the link in your email to join the Telegram chats, as well as we had some other stuff for you guys. We got some pre-records coming your way as well, man. But we're definitely loading as many people as we can right now, as well as we had a huge influx of people going into the Citadel right now as well. So we're prioritizing right now onboarding the guys into the Crypto Mindset first, but then we're going to get the Citadel guys in. So don't worry, you guys. So all within 48 hours, everyone's going to be in and stuff. It's a party. It's a pool party. It's Bitcoin right now, man. You got to mortgage your kids, mortgage your house. There's no second best. Crypto Mindset. I don't care if you fucking care about your business. You sell it. You buy Crypto Mindset.
I'm getting a mortgage on my kidney. Is that a thing?
That is definitely a thing, man. Blood and semen donations, man. Oh, everything going to the Crypto Mindset. Have you ever seen Dodgeball? Or like,
oh yeah,
Dodgeball. It's like you can dodge wrench, you can dodge a ball, but in Dodgeball, right? It was like I guess we can sell blood and semen, and the pirate dude's like yar. 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 We're on one today, you guys, man. I am over caffeinated, but beautiful, man. But first. Yo, DCC, what advice would you give to a 30-year-old who wants to take out 50 to 75% of his ROA to put into crypto this year? Not financial advice, of course. You know what? I'm gonna take this one down for 1 second because I want to seriously answer that one because that's a very serious question. That is actually a very, very serious question right there.
Yeah.
So definitely, for you guys who don't know, please join Crypto Mindset Q2 right now, man. This is gonna be a good one. We're gonna make some serious gains, serious profits. And then we're going to buy the new lows and stuff, as well as there's it's very highly likely that we're going to have Pulse Chain, the snapshot, and the launch on this quarter. That's huge. And we're going to be the guys to help you out. We have no financial incentive to show you into a fucking shitcoin project and stuff. None of these micro cap things that are going to launch on Pulse Chain. We're going to be talking, the potatoes and shit, the meats and potatoes of like what you need to make money in Pulse Chain, what to do, the snapshot, LP providing, literally being a validator for the most part, just tons and tons of stuff right now. And please don't believe the fucking hype. The APR is not going to be that high. A lot of people like the APR will be high probably for 1 day, and then it's going to drop down by another 5-6% the second day, 5-6 to 7% the next day. So we may start off for a little bit of time at 30, 40, 50, 60% APR, and then that'll crash down as validators start going online. Right now the test net is at 4,000-ish people right now. We're looking at probably 12,000 when this thing goes live within a week. So your APR is literally going to be like 3 or 4%. If we're lucky, I hope it stays around 5. I think that I always wanted us to be more competitive than Ethereum, but just FYI there. But just all the information imaginable and stuff. But also I want to give a little shout out to you guys. We are going to also share for any previous people who've taken the courses. We are also going to share the how to get started in Pulse Chain webinars with all the courses and everything, just to make sure, because we take care of our family and our guys. But some of the more advanced webinars on LP strategies, yield farming, and stuff like that's going to go to the Crypto Mindset course only. So if you want to get into it right now. There's a lot of talk right now in a lot of Telegram groups, a lot of Telegram chats, and it's a whole bunch of malarkey for the most part. But don't worry, you guys. We're gonna make it and stuff, as well as we are going to do a lot of flash webinars and some seriously cool fight clubs on top of that, man. Not convinced yet, man? You just hate money, man.
Yeah, well, we'll answer that guy's question again in more detail, like you said, but there may be some information in there if it's your first time in a Crypto Mindset course that's very helpful about how to do crypto in your IRA. We can talk a little bit about that here too, of course.
Definitely, man. It's 20 webinars, 5 pre-recorded, 15 live, as well as we're gonna have a tax webinar, NFT webinar. We're gonna be talking about the Trump NFTs a lot. We're gonna be talking about some NFTs we haven't even talked about before. But Miguel, you can't make money with NFTs. You're right, but we can. I mean, I'm not talking shit, but my track record with NFTs is it's up. It's just
you don't have to do a lot of quantity, right? It's all about quality.
It's all about quality and stuff. These Magic Cats.
Ooh, Magic Cats, dude.
Paid in spades. You can even stake Magic Cats without any coins and earn yield. Mm-hmm. Like Magic Cats yield 12% APR.
Well, even in the midst of the bear market, like it was still up. Like you were up in coins essentially. So fucking good.
Now, Anime Kingdom. Oh, dude, I love that Anime Kingdom. That's cool. In the course, you guys cover any new under the radar projects? Hell yeah.
All the time.
Oh my God, dude. Like an unbelievable. We're gonna be talking about a lot of L1s and stuff, a lot of new projects and stuff. There's places, there's things, there's actually moves we can actually do where the Mindset Army can control very large portions of certain ecosystem tokens. And that puts us in a if we want. But hey, I'm spilling the beans a little bit there. Never mind.
It's optional, allegedly. But anyway.
Allegedly. Uncomfortable truths, man. Sold American. I'll be there, sir. That's you. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a Pepe. I'll give you the old school one too. Maybe this bull market's already started and you just barely realized it. The minds, the guys in the crypto mindset, the guys in the Moon Gang, the guys in the Citadel, the minute that low was in November, it was off. People count the bull market. You know when people count the bull market? When we pass the all-time high. Do you know how much money you missed out if you do that? If you don't come back until we're $70,000 Bitcoin. Oh, I guess I'll pay attention now. I guess I'll get the cock out of my ass now. Oh, yeah, I guess now it's time. Now it's fucking time.
Is it cock or cock? Which one? You know, the one that you put in the wall? No,
oh, it's the one you put in the wall. Yeah, cocking. Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Sheesh. Shout out to Iron Hands Investing, man. Just signed up for my 3rd course to buying the cycle lows thanks to CMC, man. That last course was very profitable. I feel really sad for the guys who didn't take it. Honestly, man. Like literally, like Fresh and Fit made money. I mean, anyone the who's who of the red pill bought the lows, man. And I'm proud to say we helped a lot of people buy the lows there. Got into a lot of good coins. Everyone's up in profit and stuff. We're adding zeros to people's net worths out here, man. Shout out to my boy Jay Waller. Shout out to Sterling. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. Shout out to Rolo. Shit, I can keep going, but I'm not. Yeah. But I can. But
Ray Francis, the whole red pill, man.
The whole red pill. Everybody, baby. Sheesh. And that's right, man. Warrior poet. That's right. Pepe Copter. That's right.
But I forgot the thing you said earlier today that I was like, ooh, that was a good one. But
yeah, I'm always spitting. Oh, when I'm semi-angry and stuff.
There's something new that we came up with. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But anyway, we'll keep going.
But anyway, man, we'll get to the main topic of the thing right now as people are coming in. We got 112 people in right now. Hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, you don't share the stream out. You don't tweet it out right now. It's fucking haram.
Going to hell. Or wherever that doom.
Financial hell. Financial hell. Because man, Jerome over here making the boomers shaking their pants, man. He's a boomer himself, man. But damn, he said stuff that shook Congress up that they brought his ass. They brought the head of the Federal Reserve his ass to Washington to talk to all these olds.
Just like Gary Gensler.
I'm gonna get that popping, dude. I'm gonna get that word popping, dude. I'm gonna get that fucking hashtag the olds. The olds. Oh fuck, the olds are talking.
Yeah, Pat McAfee on the sports side, he says old whites.
Old whites. Old
We all those old whites in the NFL.
well, in this clip, I think we have some old African American persuasion in the video, but no, for sure. And then, oh my god, I have to do this. Sorry, Charlie. Charlie looks like he got some pussy.
Yeah, I'll just go. Yeah, it's all good.
Honestly, you look pretty Cuban right now, bro. Like you got the tropical colors. You got the.
It's just because of yeah. I guess it's a setup, but.
Yeah, we need a Mai Tai and a cigar right now, honestly. Next stream, cigar stream, okay?
Yeah, I got sunglasses we can wear at night, but like I need a cigar for those, yeah. Right. We need the Solana summer sunglasses too. That'd be nice.
Dude, those are cool, man. The only thing I don't like about those is just it literally like flashes the rest of your room to like on the stream. It's just, it's a bit much. But hey, man, what's up? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yo, DCCCC, what is your advice for a 30-year-old? That's the important thing. 30-year-old. If he said 50-year-old, this would be a different conversation. 30-year-old who wants to take out 50 to 75 of his IRA to put into crypto this year. Not financial advice, of course. Now, there's a couple things. There's a big thing. How much money is in there versus have you been really contributing to it, or this is something that you've been you've kind of stopped in the last 4 or 5 years, and you're like, damn, I just have some cash in there. Versus like, no, I've been really making sure that I hit the limits on contributing to this IRA for a long time now. So if you can give me a little more context below, we'll help you out, because we're here right now to help you guys out and stuff. And we're definitely going to talk a lot about the Fed right now and real estate and a lot of things that are going on right now in the world. Actually, we said this on Fresh and Fit yesterday. Right now, unless you're in Miami, you're hurting in real estate right now. Miami's literally, I think, the only market in the United States that isn't hurting outside of, I think there's one random, there's some random town somewhere. I think it's in Tennessee. I forgot the name of it.
Nashville?
Basically, yeah, maybe Nashville. I think Nashville's doing okay because there's a lot of people immigrating there too and stuff. So Las Vegas, Nashville.
Tennessee's a cool place. That'd be fun to go to Nashville. I've never been. I've been to Memphis, but not Nashville before.
Nashville would be cool. Surprisingly not. You want to know the city where your dollars go? The large metro city in the United States. They did a survey of like which city is the best where your dollar goes the farthest. Memphis, Tennessee.
Really?
Yes, Memphis, Tennessee.
Elvis was onto something.
Hey, Memphis is. Hey, shout out the 3-6 Mafia, baby.
There you go. Yeah, everybody knows that's where it's at, right?
So if you give me a little more context, I'll answer you better. But go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead.
One other addition to the IRA stuff there, right? You could actually there's limits to it in terms of amounts that you can contribute, but there are ways to make basically crypto native, meaning you can hold your own keys and stuff like that. Crypto native IRAs, right? We actually have a webinar in the course where we basically tell you how you can do that properly and where to go research and stuff like that. And then in addition, right, if you want some crypto exposure in a traditional portfolio without having to get out of the traditional market, what was that company called? Bitfarm. If you look at the fucking chart on Bitfarm, you can buy this thing. It's it's a Bitcoin mining company that basically IPO'd. Bro, that thing crushes like everything in the stock market. You can get like a 10x, 20x sometimes on that thing. You can't like that. If you're going to be playing in the traditional market, with crypto related stuff like that is the stuff to work with. So there's a lot of different options too if you can't move over right away, if you have onboarding issues or anything.
Right. So there's a lot of options, and if you don't know how to do that, especially if it's a significant amount of money, get in the course. We'll be able to kind of point you in the right direction and stuff. But at the same time, you really, at the end of the day, that's why I have that. It's not financial advice, but on top of that, at the end of the day, you push the green and or the red button at the end of the day and stuff. We're red pill men and women here and stuff like that. We have to take responsibility for our actions, but sometimes these actions make us very rich.
Exactly.
There's a lot of money, man. And shout out to Pickle Yard, man.
I was just gonna say, if anybody sends you any DMs from Instagram or stuff, we never DM you first, right? So we'll never unsolicited ask you for anything or message you about anything. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes when we do promote the course, sometimes the Instagram fake accounts basically try to scam some shit. So we will never DM you first in that regard.
Right. Now, I may be DMing one or two people just because they've asked me questions, but I have a check mark on Instagram, check mark on Twitter. If it doesn't have a check mark, that ain't me. Okay. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I have fully doxed myself, which I already had anyway. You found out the Mexican's a Mexican. Wow, magic. There's no way Miguel's name is Miguel. His name is probably Enrique Jose Sanchez. Nope, Miguel. Dang, rugged. But there you go, man. Now, Ace Beast, man, what's going on, man? $5 super chat. Apparently, Pepe is the word for a female snatch in the Philippines. Fun fact: so hidden Pepe means something totally different.
There you go.
There you go, baby. Even in the red pill, baby.
Hey, dude, you know we could have that Pepe coin make a series on that. That's memeable right in and of itself.
That's hella cool, you guys. Let's see. Just want to answer a couple more questions in the chat, and then we're gonna get into the main topic, man. Okay, here we go. So dollar cost crypto, I have not been contributing much for the past 2 years. The IRA total value is less than 6 figs. I just wanted to get a good. If that's the case, that's not a terrible idea. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I would definitely get into the course and stuff and learn where like you can distribute that the best and find the best strategies for that as well. We're gonna have a really important tax webinar with Steve from accounting. Shout out to Steve from accounting and stuff. We're also working on some really cool tax stuff as well that's coming. Well, I guess to a Pepe near you. So to the Pepe copter and stuff. But let me tell you this, man, when you're doing stuff by the book, it takes a minute to do stuff. So, and just want to let you know if we've ever said some stuff we're trying our hardest, but sometimes we're just held up by the powers that be. I mean, honestly. So, one thing me and Charlie pride ourselves on is that we do everything correctly by the book, and we try not to fly by the seat of our pants too much in terms of like when it comes to really serious shit like that. So. Yeah, thank you guys for your patience and stuff. So everything we do is like we literally put our heart and soul into it. So yeah. Since we make our own products, we really make sure that we believe in our products and make sure that they like if we sell something to you guys or we tell you guys about something, we think it's pretty legit. So
yeah. Pulsating hexgasm has a pretty good question.
What? I'm not in there. What are you talking about?
I'm serious.
Oh, right. Dang it, man. Pulsating hexgasm. What a freaking name, dude. You better be wearing sunglasses. Your future's bright. Would you hold e-fiat or use it to buy the hex dip? Now, this is interesting, right? I mean, I actually haven't seen that e-hex since I've been over here. I mean, let's see where e-fiat is really quickly before we get into the topic.
Like 60 cents right now.
53 cents and stuff. So let's look at the 4 hour at least. Yeah, it's just barely have turned down now and stuff like that. But even as long as it stays above 44 cents and stuff, everyone's in profit and stuff. I think it's when it goes below 40 cents that people are underwater. Some people are underwater depending on where they sacrifice how fast they did, basically. But e-fiat is a bonus token, so technically it's all profit anyway, really. The famous token is what we sacrifice for. But you actually could. I mean, e-fiat hasn't gone as down as much as Hex does. But if you count from all-time high, it's local high of 12 cents to now. So Hex is down over 50+% from 12 cents. I think it's down to what I think it's at 5 cents right now, actually, or 6 cents. Let me see. It might be only down 50% in most now.
6 flat.
Yeah. So yeah, 6. Yeah,
which is a great price to buy some.
Yeah, so we're between 40 to 50% down from the local high right now and stuff like that. And e-fiat is probably, I think, down. Most people wouldn't have sold it at 71 anyway, but it's from 71 down to 53. So it's held up better than Hex. So you could do a bit of a transfer there to get some more Hex. That's not a terrible idea, but I do believe in terms of multiples, I think e-fiat can really do some moves and stuff. There's something coming April 25th, supposedly for e-fiat, coming to a Pepe near you. So I'm gonna hold on to my e-fiat. But if you really feel like I'm kind of low on Hex, and yeah, you can refill your bag. That's okay, man. It's your coins. The beautiful thing is it doesn't matter even if you did sell all the e-fiat for your Hex and stuff, you still have Hex. It's going to do very well. Pulse chain launching, snapshot, there's just a lot of opportunities for you guys. So there you go, man. Cool. And then I just got this one. DCC and CC were sent by the Lord to help us become rich. That's right. Padre, el Hijo, Espíritu Santo. I gotta tie this up. I gotta be Father Gaines today.
You gotta get a watch on one hand and then what, beads on the other or something.
Yeah, believe it or not, I think I told Charlie this. I used to have a rosary right here.
Right.
I used to wear.
Yeah.
I had that on since I was probably 16 years old.
Mm.
Yeah. No, well, maybe it's 17. I think it was the last time I went to Mexico. But yeah, same thing basically. Yeah. But without further ado, man, I'm going to show you a really interesting video from the Fed Chair, Jerome Powell, about why raising the debt ceiling is a really important idea. Okay, so let's get into it. Bum, 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 bum.
Pal Greg Robb from Market Watch. In the minutes of the December meeting, there was a couple sentences that struck people as important. When the committee said participants talked about this unwarranted easing of financial conditions was a risk, and it would make your life harder to bring inflation down. I haven't heard you talk much about that today or in the statement. So I was wondering, has that concern eased among members, or is that still something you're concerned about? Thank you.
I would put it this way. It's something that we monitor carefully. Financial conditions didn't really change much from the December meeting to now. They mostly went sideways or up and down, but came out in roughly the same place. It's important that the markets do reflect the tightening that we're putting in place. As we've discussed a couple of times here, there's a difference in perspective by some market measures on how fast inflation will come down. We're just going to have to see. I'm not going to try to persuade people to have a different forecast, but our forecast is that it will take some time and some patience, and that we'll need to keep rates higher for longer. But we'll see.
Can you pause it right there?
Yeah.
The one thing that's interesting when you look at the U.S. inflation rate chart,
Right.
It's, I think, what the last month it was at 5% for the previous month, right? If you look at, well, it's on a sell signal, meaning that inflation will continue to go down. It is in a downtrend, right? And then you look at, if you put on, I think it's the 200-month moving average plus Bollinger Bands. If you look at that, it's going to be really hard. Like there's a lot of resistance, there's a lot of support basically at 4%. And the thing that was really interesting that I heard the other day was the CEO of BlackRock also made the point that it's going to be really hard to push inflation down below 4%. I just thought those two things lining up was very interesting, right? And the interesting part about that, right, is because I think after sometime in June or July, right, oh shit, we're continuing to raise rates. We're getting close to that limit you've been talking about, right? And we don't want to break the economy, but we can't get under 4%. Like we've dropped inflation by half, great, right? But it won't go any lower. And if that happens, right, then what are they going to do as a result in order to, because they don't want inflation to bounce back up to 6%, in the second half of this year, right? So what do you think they might do in that case?
If they end up increasing it, if for some reason inflation starts increasing, then they'll
just slowing down to the downside, kind of going like flat.
Oh, I thought you meant on the second thing you said. Okay, no. Oh, yeah, if it's coming down,
and then
at some point they'll have to they'll just monitor it, and just probably what they'll do is just stay the course there to see. They'll probably say, okay, we're going to wait a while to allow it to see if it maybe can come down. But you could be totally right, because there's actually a lot of infrastructure that's being built out right now. There's people forget this. We're deglobalizing, and we're having an incredible amount of fact. I mean, it doesn't look like it, right? Even though I think I did a stream yesterday with Rolla about there's all these jobs and stuff that people ain't doing. Most of the jobs that are people want to do are pretty low end jobs, but there's actually quite a lot of high skilled labor jobs that are coming back to the States from factories that used to be overseas that are migrating back here into Canada, Mexico, and the United States. And there is a labor shortage on that side, but most of the jobs are from, basically people who left their jobs and figured out their job is dog shit and ain't trying to go back. A lot of females, a lot of males, the whole kid and caboodle there. But there's a lot of build out of factories right now and basically manufacturing hubs right now all over the United States. I mean, Toyota is basically, through Trump and stuff, and now this stuff's coming from fruition. They're building the biggest car factory in the United States' history, now. Shout out to the Japanese. Yeah, pretty cool, right? And then that's not even talking about all the stuff with Tesla and stuff, who's also just building more and more things and stuff like that. So there's a lot of build out right now. And then anytime you have a lot of infrastructure build out, this is inflationary. But all this stuff is not enough for all the kind of fuckery they did with all the money printing. So there's good things that the healthy, natural American economy is doing, but there's still a lot of bad stuff that a lot of people did. I mean, there was a lot of money that was lent to people that shouldn't have had that money. That's where a lot of this inflation came from and stuff. And then, as he alluded kind of in the beginning of this video right here, he was pretty much saying he was basically saying, yeah, we're trying to hurt the price. We're in Fed talk. We're trying to hurt the prices of the market. crypto crashed already, but now crypto's crashed, it's rebounded. There's no one levering anymore. And then on top of that, I would say, I guess on the fundamental side, more people are holding their coins now than ever, but there still is a large amount, of coins on exchanges as well. But the leverage is out of the system, and we've rebounded back up, and volumes are starting to pick up. So exchanges are starting to make money again. So overall, the crypto system is getting healthier and stronger. While one crash does not intrinsically fix the stock market or the real estate market. So, it's that sort of thing right there, man. And shout out to Crypto Sloth. What's good, brother? Didn't even say Hedron once. Anyway.
Yeah. And right after this, I'll mention, maybe we can mention it now because it's kind of an aside, but did you see the thing, the executive order from the White House earlier today, which was basically saying if you have a good credit score above 740, you basically get screwed on future housing loans and mortgages, versus if you have bad credit, you're okay. And so that's going to be good for the economy too, right?
Well, basically
over the long term, right?
What have we been saying on YouTube for a while now? We're getting sort of a weird, we're not getting inflation. We're in a stagflation, sort of up and down muddy brackish water. They're doing positive things, and I mean that's not a positive thing, but it is positive for real estate. In the overall thing, you're letting a bunch of these people who aren't credit worthy get into the space. If you guys haven't seen the video, go check out the video I just did with the Tim Dillon reaction video. He literally talks about the real estate market quite a lot in there and what kind of happened. Shout out to all the Long Island brokers, people. But these it's kind of crazy. I thought about this until Tim Dillon said it, because he was in the industry. He literally said that the same guys who were in the Wolf of Wall Street, were the guys' his boss and stuff like that, right, were basically employees of Jordan Belfort that kind of decided to clean up their act and kind of really ascend, right, and do things more the traditional way. Then from there went into real estate. Then from there went into doing essentially shitty business loans for companies. And it just literally everything that we've been having trouble on. It's like they just jump from one to one. So we gotta get some cameras down in Long Island to see what they're shilling, because that'll be the next financial crisis. But all that aside and stuff like that, I mean, it's gonna increase sales. I mean, people want, but the thing is, they're doing this is because no one's bought houses since they've increased the interest rates. I remember when they did the one that really hit the market, that first 75 basis point increase. Because I remember the first couple increases we got in 22. The first one kind of was nothing really happened, but it was kind of the shot over the bow. Crypto went down a little bit, not too bad. The second, by the time we were getting the second one, we had to tell people, hey, you need cash out. We're heading down. Boom, we had significantly. We tell people to sell Luna, sell this, sell that, sell Lana, sell everything, and more of these interest rates started happening. The more lower the prices started to go. But when they did that first 75 basis point increase, you saw. I mean, I got this data from real estate here in Las Vegas, but this is pretty much around the world. People were showing up to basically open houses reduced by 50% overnight. 50% overnight. And they only continue to go down. So back then, you'd be competing against 10 people. You're competing against 2 to 3 people, maybe, in an area. Sometimes there's nobody at all. So what's going on right now is
you'll also, be in some places, like Las Vegas, probably Texas, Florida as well. You'll be competing with corporations. Yeah. Right. Who are going to try to wait until the lowest time in the market to buy, and then they're going to be just eating up a lot of that.
Definitely, man. And everything he said about Long Island was 100% true, by the way. He called them pirates. And dude, shout out to Tim. I'll get him on the show one day. We're definitely, man.
He'd be a fun one.
Fake business, Charlie. All the fake business. But so we're just it's interesting sort of space. So look, everything I'm saying right now is pretty fucking negative, right? It's wow, look at all this stuff. Real estate's going down. This went down. Crypto went to shit. The exchanges went down, but yet crypto persists, and we bottomed already.
And we had the New York financial services superintendent basically say straight to the face of Congress and everybody that Silvergate bank collapse had nothing to do with crypto or very little. It was more of a traditional bank run that was actually a planned demolition, which was wild to hear from the government. But, respect people telling the truth.
Right. Now, John Collins said people aren't doing site builds homes anymore. Manufactured homes are booming in Atlanta because the price is right, of course. And this is also another reason why, shout out to Jay Waller, Justin Waller, this is why recently he just bought a bunch of trailer parks. Because when the economy gets really tough, if people have to move out of their houses or do things like that because of these payments, they end up going. So there's Section 8, and then there's houses just above Section 8, and then even higher houses from there. A lot of people who are up here will fall down. They're not falling into Section 8; they'll fall into the lower rungs right there. So there's a lot of people who are going to start heading into that, as well as when people start making more money in Section 8, they head into those homes as well. It's a good intermediate step.
And they become more reliant on government stimulus checks and shit like that.
Right. So there's a lot of that now and stuff. Shout out to Waller. That's why if you in real estate, if you can get into like trailer parks, man, you can make some serious money. That is that's cash flow heavy. Sort of
if it can be near like a place where a lot of people need to go for work as well, boom, even better.
No, definitely, man. Waller's going to make so damn much. That's right, because he listens to DCC and CC, baby. That's right. But outside of those very special deals and stuff, most people in real estate are getting destroyed right now. I mean, absolutely destroyed. So we are going to see more pain in the real estate market. But let's continue on. Let's watch the rest of the video and then go from there, okay?
Hi, Chair Powell. Brendan Peterson with Punchbowl News. I wanted to ask if the Fed takes into account at all the debt ceiling when it comes to quantitative tightening, given the fact that rapid or faster quantitative.
I just got to say one thing, though. He said Punchbowl Media.
Super serial.
Super serial. But, I respect it. He asked probably one of the better questions that, like, this one dude at Punchbowl Media started all this shit.
He's like, I got to make a career here. I'm going to have some good questions.
Dude, that is crazy. Just like you asked some random question, and then literally Jerome Powell, like a month later, is being like brought up to the witch trial in Washington. Damn.
Hi, Chair Powell. Brendan Peterson with Punchbowl News. I wanted to ask if the Fed takes into account at all the debt ceiling when it comes to quantitative tightening, given the fact that rapid or faster quantitative tightening could bring us closer, faster to that drop dead debt ceiling deadline. Could it play an effect as we get closer to that drop dead deadline this summer?
It's very hard to think about all the different possible ramifications, and I think the answer is basically I don't think there's likely to be any important interaction between the two, because I believe Congress will wind up acting, and as it will and must in the end, to raise the debt ceiling in a way that doesn't risk, the progress we're making against inflation and the economy and the financial sector. I believe that will happen. I believe it will happen. We of course will monitor money market conditions carefully as the process moves on. For example, the Treasury General account will shrink down and then it will grow back up. And we understand there'll be lots of flows between there and the overnight repo facility and reserves. We understand all that. We're watching it carefully. We'll just be monitoring it.
Carefully. We're watching that carefully. That's about all.
Thank you, Chair.
He just said overnight. I haven't heard him say overnight repo markets in for
2019. What have I been saying all year? 2019 was the last best time to buy Bitcoin. 2023 is the next best time to buy Bitcoin. And
you guys, now this isn't a conspiracy theory. I gotta be careful. I say this. I think the Android 19 thing that happened back in the day was real, but overblown.
Yep. Well, is an opportunity. Here's what it was, right? As an opportunity to take advantage of a crisis.
Right. Now, yeah, that's actually right. Yeah, correct. The reason the overnight repo markets exist is so basically banks can lend money to other banks over the weekend and stuff. So they can the way it works is like a lot of these banks are insolvent, but if they borrow enough money, they'll actually. And the reason that the reason that a lot of these banks are insolvent is because they sometimes lose money on bonds, because the majority of these banks buy a lot of U.S. treasuries, a lot of debt, a lot of they borrow, they use a lot of different debt, but a lot of mortgage-backed securities and stuff like that. But now, I'm shocked people are even buying mortgage-backed securities. But I mean, at some point, there's only so many places you can put the money into. But they're buying 10-year mortgage-backed securities and stuff. And then sometimes, if with the increasing rates, these banks can be actually in the negative. So then what ends up happening is that then they borrow money from each other in order just to be worth at least $1. So then they get shut, so they can keep continuing operations on Monday. Then on Monday, then they can be negative for the whole week. But on Friday, they have to be worth over $1. So what ends up happening is that when these banks froze up in 2019, they wouldn't lend to each other because like, which one of you guys, like, we don't know who's lying here, basically. And then the Fed started freaking out, and they basically bailed out the banks, and they hit a huge amount of printing of money and basically over collateralized the banks. So there's over $3 trillion like sitting at the Fed of like money that should be going out to loaning into the economy, building small businesses. But these guys are so fucking afraid of putting this money into the market and stuff like, because banks don't even do what banks are supposed to do. Banks are supposed to lend to small businesses. Banks are supposed to lend to businesses. That's why you have so many specialty banks. And on top of that, all the stuff that's happened recently, they're like the big banks are rugging the small banks, and the small banks are lends to the commercial real estate developer who rents to the farmers, who rents to the small business owners. These are the people.
They don't rent to Monsanto, man. That's why. This is what it is.
It
sucks.
I know, and yeah, but it's just a travesty, right? So look, I know why you need banks. You do need banks, and I've always supported credit unions and everything like that, right? You need credit. You need these. I mean, for most of us we should have a major bank account, but then also have that account, right? But recently, what happened with Silvergate, and what happened with what's called Silicon Valley Bank, and what happened with First Republic, and what happened with all these banks, is really what really started this off was basically Silicon Valley doing all this bullshit from basically COVID. They got all these loans. There was tons of money mulling around. So the VCs gave these companies a lot of money. Most of these companies make no profit at all, and they failed. And so what happened as the market started crashing, the market started crashing and stuff, and then people stopped reading up, right? So these guys are basically taking all their drug money, putting it back into the market. Then they get more drug money, and they're putting it right back. But what happens this time? The drug money didn't come back, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So they started going to their savings account and pulling out money and stuff because they weren't getting they got the round A, they got the round B, the round C, but there's no D&E anymore. And they're like, we need D&E to stay afloat. Shoot, because our investors as well as our board of directors have been telling us to fucking spend all our money on growth instead of profit. Because the amount of users matters more than the fucking dollars in the banks coming in.
Yep.
Stupid.
I wish we had that stupid button right now. Stupid.
I mean, you hear me saying this, and then Michael Saylor doesn't sound that crazy anymore. You know?
Yeah. But he never sounded that crazy. It doesn't sound 100% crazy, but at the same time, takes one to know one a little bbit. But yeah.
Right. I'm over here crying on your stream about like, man, I should have sold that $15,000 car. I would have had another $8 million and stuff. Most expensive Bugattis in my driveway. But yeah, so all this stuff is happening. So this overnight. So basically, again, that means if he just mentioned overnight repo market, right? So this is so interesting. This stream was right before we started having problems with what's it called with Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh yeah. So
next time if we ever hear Jerome Powell say overnight repo market, holy, something's about to happen. That's interesting. Like, boom, boom. And it got so bad in 2019, they forced the big four, the big five banks to grab money first, because there's like, all right, we've printed trillions of dollars. Go ahead, grab. Nobody would grab, because if you grabbed first, especially if you're a small bank, oh, this is the one that was down bad. Let's short it. Let's hurt the stock and stuff. So these banks were super incentivized not to grab that money. So then afterwards, Jerome Powell ended up having a talk with the CEOs of all these banks. and told him to grab money. So Jamie Dimon, he ended up grabbing a bunch of money and stuff. So did every other bank at the time. JP Morgan was the best collateralized. I think it still is and so they forced him to grab money. And then all these other banks started grabbing money as well. And then from there it kind of calmed down for a little bit. But then what happens is the overnight repo market was wasn't enough to kind of re-solidify the banks. So what they did after that is they pushed out the narrative, because look, the last crash was even though it was a housing crash, but the banks should have gone under. They bailed out the banks. They bailed out the banks. It was a housing crisis, but they bailed out the banks because the banks are the ones loaning the money for the houses, right? So it was a financial recession, right? They couldn't afford to cause another recession because of banks again.
Yep.
So instead of having, you can sort of blame the house, but this time the house and the bank went down. This time it's just the bank went down. Shit. This time around, even these dumbass plebs are going to end up doing something to us and regulating us bad this time. Fuck. What can we do? Oh, I know what to do. This is a medical emergency. This is a pandemic.
Oh, you should care more about that than the economy. Meanwhile, right, 2 years later, the economy is so bad. Inflation's so bad. Why? And, so it's ridiculous. But think about the timing of that repo market in 2019 as well versus the inverted yield curve. I was trying to look up the dates on when the inverted yield curve went inverted a little bit here. But in 2019, that happened in the middle of the summer, right? And Warren Buffett, what did he do? Started selling a shit ton of banking stocks. And dollar cost averaging out, right? The responsible way. But then in October, right, the New York Times said the repo market is not quantitative easing. The droids that you are seeing are not real, or whatever the fuck that line is, right? And then when did the pandemic crash happen, right? Versus all that timing, right? So repo market, right, back in October of that time to what? March or February? How many months is that? 5-6 months, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, once you hear those things, tick tock. Yeah. And that was only a 2-month recession.
It was only a 2-month recession, but it was enough to scare them a lot to enact all this stuff. And then the thing
they don't want that again. They're going to print their way out of that before it happens.
Dude almost owns it. Yeah. So basically from there, right? They shut down the country. They start really playing into this fucking narrative right here, right? And they really start playing into this narrative and stuff. And from there, a lot of fuckery was going on because, I mean, look, I like Trump and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to make this political at all or anything like that. But basically, Trump wasn't really believing it. And I think this is another big reason why they got him. They fudded it out and stuff. So the Democrats kind of laid in bed with whoever the powers that be to make sure the money was getting printed for this thing, because he wasn't really believing it. He wasn't trying to take shots. And then later on, he kind of kowtowed way later on after he wasn't president anymore and stuff like that. So kind of crazy what's going on there. So from there, they use the thing. They shut down the country. They give stimulus checks to everybody. We got to make it real. But think about it. You really think that all this inflation was caused by $3 extra fucking $1,000 by everybody?
Is now coming out?
In less than 2 years from now. Yep.
Well, they're test piloting it in July.
Right. Well, you're right. They're test piloting it and stuff, but the full rollouts happen in the next 2 years for most countries and
That's
stuff.
What they say, right?
That's what they say.
So it's one of these things where it's they might have some emergency measures that come into place at some point, right? The end of this year can be a wild ride, bro.
Things can get pretty crazy, but on top of that, right, you have that. They're preemptively testing this out. So it kind of lines up that after, whether it's at the end of 24 or is in 25, something bad's going to happen. Obviously, I don't think the banking, because I don't think basically we're going to collapse the banks and we're going to go into a recession until after the presidential election.
They'll keep printing their way out of a recession, and then once they don't have to anymore, if they stop, trying to hold it up, right?
Yeah, because basically they can't have a recession happen when a president or the Congress are being elected, because then they can enact a bunch of bills on them, because this happens all the time. Anytime there's a big crash, magically there's this huge stack of paper that you have to read through it, and you have 5 minutes to do it, or you have to sign it. This happens a lot. Magically, you can't read what's in it and stuff. Just trust me and trust you, man. You're gonna save the economy. Just sign here. Okay. And if you don't sign, this man didn't sign the paper that saved the economy. Fucking vote him out of office. Hashtag / loser. Hashtag betraying his party. Hashtag I don't know. Right. And that's exactly. And I think literally a lot of these things and stuff. I think Rand Paul. I think he was like one of the only people that didn't sign the Patriot Act, if I remember correctly. Like almost everybody signed it and stuff. There's tons of these little things that ends up happening when like crisis happens. That the men in blue suits and black suits come out, hand a stack to the congressman, and then you got 5 minutes, bro. Because it's happening right now. We gotta move. Fuck. Yep. And that's what ends up happening, and that's at the government level and stuff, right? But all this printing happened. Businesses got printed, so so a lot of businesses got a bunch of cash. That's where like all this money. There was two things. Banks got printed a ton of money, and on top of that, you had a bunch of small and medium-sized businesses getting a ton of money as well. That's where really all the inflation came from.
And the LA Lakers were a small business. They got a small business.
Small.
Yeah, they
small.
got a small business loan. You know, they didn't know any better. They thought that they misread the fine print. They thought that was for massive businesses. But sorry, that was only for small business. Sorry. We'll pay that back. Yeah, sure they did. Right.
So basically, everyone's defaulting on. So there's that debt. So the first money they gave to the businesses was free, which was a significant amount of money, but it wasn't that crazy. The secondary loans were gigantic, almost 4 or 5 times the original free amount. So everyone, all these small businesses got like a decent like paycheck. So I guess you had a certain amount of employees and stuff. You got a few $100,000. But then the second loan came out, the one you have to repay back. Those were in the millions for some businesses. And a lot of these businesses were basically zombie corporate. You know, when you have a corporate, it's not really making cash anymore, but you still employ. There's like you're employing people, kind of like CCP out here, right? But you're not being very productive. Well, since you have a lot of employees, huge, you know? Oh, DCC called Tank in 7. The Ryan Garcia fight, Tank. Did Tank lose? Did he get knocked out? Oh my God, what'd I say? Man, I'm good with this shit, dude.
Hey, you should what? There's a Circa app, or there's the
right.
The other betting apps, right? Hey, you should have put some money down, bro.
I know. I'm always calling these things. I haven't gone the Super Bowl wrong in like 8 years either.
The Super Bowl?
One? Yeah, the Super. Yeah, I just guess. I mean, people just ask me. Yeah, I haven't. I just bet the team. I don't bet on how many points.
No, I know, but it's just interesting. I never begged you for betting or like kind of.
Well, it's hard to like. I mean, everyone when the Super Bowl's around, everyone's talking about it. And stuff
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But what's it called? What's it called? Damn, I lost my train of thought. Son of a bitch. Oh yeah. So they end up having all these. End up having all these loans and stuff, right? And that's really where a lot of the inflation came out. But on the other side, they ended up filling up the bank full of cash to the point where like the banks were actually like, holy crap, the interest rates are 0. We have all this cash. We can deposit the money here at the banks. I mean here at the Fed, we can deposit money here and there. We can deposit into it's called mortgage-backed securities, and then basically what the cost of borrowing on a house went to practically basically 3%, right? And dang, it was really, I guess Tank won. Never mind. No, well, yeah, it's whatever. But basically from there, right, all this stuff ended up happening, right? And there was so much money out in supply and stuff. These banks, instead, they weren't really lending money out anymore, since basically everyone got loans and stuff. Then all this money increased the price of the bank stocks and stuff. And then from then they went to they could then do more things and then buy more stocks and stuff. So it causes this kind of repothecation cycle. That's why we got a big boom in bank stocks and in the rest of the world and stuff, because everyone got loans as well. So everybody had a glut of cash at the time, and all these deposits ended up going to these businesses, and crypto went up and everything went up from there, right? But as soon as the interest rates started increasing and stuff, these banks started having huge losses. And this is the problem, is that there's a ton of banks right now that are at the same time, even right now, are on that verge of like possibly being like, there's a lot of banks that are probably secretly underwater right now. And all you need is a small little like bank run and you're out of here. But now the Fed has basically put a system in place where if a bank gets a bank run on them and stuff like that, they can basically turn in all their lost all the bonds they lost money on, get the full value of that, and then basically pay back their debtors, basically, or pay back their depositors, basically, with that and stuff. But then this causes another thing, because they only really the Fed and then a bunch of people in the government were basically saying it was really only for the big banks, and then the small banks started going, "What? So you're saying all the money I had insured, all the money I have in my local bank is insured?" So then you had money like leave out of like community banks and everything like that, and going to the big four and stuff like
That's
that.
not intentional. Not at all.
Not intentional. Not just a rug. So from there, like we have the government essentially, the government and the Fed working together to rug small banks in order to have less competition in the banks, make them more frail. So when they roll out the Fed Now system, there's less fighting for it, and there's less places for you to go.
B2C, baby, right? Right now, the Fed's B2B only, right? With the banks, they're going direct to customer. They don't need all these small banks. They don't give loans to Monsanto anyway. There's no small farmers out here anymore. Or if there are, we'll just steamroll them anyways, right? Just, make that big, building, make that big parking lot, it's all good. Like it's just what they're trying to do out here, right? Is so clear, but a lot of people don't want to talk about it, or they just ignore it, or they don't understand it, right? But the central bank digital currency is going to play a huge part in that too. Like they got a lot of different tricks up their sleeve to basically monopolize the banks and centralize the shit out of it and just go straight to consumer with the central bank digital currency, cut out all these banks, man. Like that's not a good way to be.
Shout out to the CEO network, man. Shout out to Fresh's group.
Can't wait for what do you call it? The Big Short 2.0. I mean, that's definitely going to be a movie at some point here again.
Definitely
a real life film brought to you by the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell.
I think they're also working on a GameStop movie as well.
Yeah, I was just being metaphorical, but yeah.
Oh yeah, but they're actually working on one of those as well. But I don't know how they're going to get around the whole fact that they just literally stopped the pump because they halted trading.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to make a movie. They're going to make a movie about FTX as well. But yeah, it's one of these things where it's like when you watch a slow moving train crash coming, and you can see it coming, like the amount of people that are just like standing there ready to take it right in the fucking, but it sucks, man. That's our job here to help you guys. I think somebody in the chat earlier said, when you guys are billionaires, are you going to still be streaming? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because we have a lot of fun talking about this stuff with you guys and helping you out because, unfortunately, all the financial media out there, the majority of it, right? They won't tell you the direct truth. That's, they're not incentivized for that. So.
Right. So the views just went up, probably because the fight's over. That's hella funny. But so that's that. So that's where we are right now. So where are we going now? Right. So pretty much right now because like the Fed has put that backstop on the system, and eventually we're going to have not the nail in the coffin, but one of the things that's really going to turn this market into a bull market is when the Fed eventually, or FDIC and the Fed and stuff eventually come out with a plan to insure all bank deposits. Once all bank deposits are insured and stuff, because the small banks are really fighting back on this, right? When that ends up happening, on top of that program where any bank that's basically negative on these bonds can that. So that means at that point, the banks are going to willy-nilly buy all U.S. debt and basically every bond they can get their fucking hands on that's approved by the Fed. Buy those bonds, make those dividends. Fuck, it's going to zero. Sell it back to the Fed. Put it back in their books and re-up again. And this is going to cause a bunch of inflation, and this can cause a huge market upswing. But it sounds negative because it is, because the people who are going to suffer from this are going to be the people just holding dollars and not holding assets,
which is the majority of the population.
Yeah, and this is why we're so passionate about teaching about cryptocurrencies, because if you do not get yourself in the asset class, if you're not in the capital class, you are going to get wrecked severely. All this inflation we saw right now. The inflation right now, inflation's as low as it's going to be. If we get a little lucky, oil might go down a tiny bit, but outside of that, it just like look at all the stuff that's going on. Well, look at all the stuff because we're on. Look at all the stuff that's going on right now with all the Sandman attacks and stuff, and the BRIC nations. The BRIC nations are pretty trash nations. Let's be for real, right?
That's why they're getting together, right? Because they know there's a little bit more strength in numbers, right? They know they can't do it individually.
So I think this time around, like, and with Saudi Arabia kind of backstabbing the United States and all these things are getting uppity and stuff. Who knows what the United States is going to do and what the United States might allow people to do and who they end up arming this time around. So there's a lot, you know, it doesn't take much. It takes a war where the United States are not a part of, but a lot of the countries that supply oil are a part of to have oil prices just spike up like crazy, which then will drive prices even higher from there. So, interesting sort of stuff, man. But let's finish that video, man. I want to rehear this part again. This is pretty crazy.
Different possible ramifications, and I think the answer is basically I don't think there's likely to be any important interaction between the two, because I believe Congress will wind up acting, and as it will and must in the end, to raise the debt ceiling in a way that doesn't risk, you know, the progress we're making against inflation and the economy and the financial sector. I believe that will happen. I believe it will happen. You know, we of course will monitor money market conditions carefully as the process moves on. For example, the Treasury General account will shrink down and then it will grow back up. And we understand there'll be lots of flows between there and the overnight repo facility and reserves. We understand all that. We're watching it carefully. We'll just be monitoring it.
Interesting. Right. Now we're going to go to another stream. Now we're going to go to one more video as well. This one is where he's getting brought up in front of Congress, and he's getting kind of, I wouldn't say reamed, but more of like they're kind of using him to they're trying to use him as like a political pawn in a way to like, please explain to the crowd why the Republicans are bad. And of course, it's our favorite lady.
And what are the dates on both of these videos? Just for everybody to know.
The last one was about 2 months ago. This is about a month ago and some change. So it's like these videos are both a month apart. So within two months and some change ago, he ends up saying this on. I live streamed it and stuff, or we reacted to it, where he said, "Hey, you guys, the Federal Reserve, it can't save the economy if you guys don't like. It doesn't matter if you guys don't stop messing around and increase the debt ceiling. We can't save this economy. So you basically you raise the freaking debt ceiling. Stop making it political." Is what he's basically what he said. And now both sides are trying to, the left is trying to make it sound like, he was. So tell the country why the Republicans are holding it up and putting our country into danger. And I'll let you decide on that.
Chair Powell, I agree with what you.
And of course, it's Miss Waters, of course.
The most honest person on Capitol Hill for sure.
Dude, her fingers creep me out, dude. Like when she points her fingers out, I'm like, geez, dude, it's pretty rough.
I don't think I've ever noticed. Interesting.
You said on February 1st that Congress must raise the debt limit because of what you described as the highly risky consequences of failing to do so. You are perhaps the most important expert on the debt limit, which is why I find it very concerning that your recommendation to raise the debt limit in a timely manner is being ignored by my colleagues on the other side of the aisle.
Jesus Christ. No, this shit, the reason we're in this is because both of you guys messed this up and printed money and did all this crap. It's not a left or right thing. It's both of y'all corrupt motherfuckers on both sides.
Same wings of the same fucking bird.
Right. Now, why are they lagging on the debt ceiling, right? Because when they increase the debt ceiling, they also put things in there like we're going to add some extra spending for this and this. So basically, this is back in the day we used to balance the budget, which means it's like this is how much we're spending for the government for the next year or for this year. Cool. But now the raising of the debt ceiling has now become a brand new thing. Like it's become the brand new. We get to print extra money and we get to fund new programs. So this is kind of like balancing the budget, except we're always going to have the budget bigger permanently. That's what. So they really need to change the word of this whole thing. Basically, like, hey, yeah, it's a new year, so we have to spend more money, so we have to allocate more funds into more stuff, government programs. So right now, with what the Republicans are doing, but as well as like the liberals and stuff, they're adding certain things so certain people in their party and stuff get benefits and stuff. So there's probably extra spending on oil there. There's probably some extra spending in on climate change bullshit. You know, it's a lot of that sort of stuff. So that's the reason why they're like filibustering right now. It's crazy, you know. Never forget this woman called for violence. Yeah, shout out for Fresh and Fit, man.
I'm also concerned that the consequences of this brinksmanship are imminent. Fitch Ratings said this week they may seriously look at downgrading the U.S. debt based on the escalating brinksmanship they are observing, even if Congress ultimately addresses the debt limit at the last minute. This is history repeating itself. Standard & Poor's downgraded our debt back in 2011 when Republicans last controlled the House and threatened default.
Now, I will say one thing. I feel like that was more of a stunt, right? So Standard & Poor's like lowered the ratings on the credit limit for the United States the United States government, but it was because all these agencies in the last financial crisis were basically people lost confidence in all these because all these guys basically said this is a AAA rated bond, you guys, to every piece of shit that they could possibly manufacture. And then
bullshit.
So basically, in order for them to look like, save some face, what they did is like, oh fuck, what can we do? We're lowering the credit worthiness of the United States government, and then that's what they kind of use as their thing. It's like, you see, the United States has been doing this fuck shit for too long. Where we lowered them from an A++ to an A+ now. Beautiful. And I remember, if I remember at the time, they actually increased the credit ratedness of Russia as well, like a month later. My memory is, this is like a long time ago. This might be like 2009 or 8, but just crazy shit, you guys. Just real crazy sort of stuff. But like, don't fall for all this jargon and stuff like that. That was like that was more of like a move to save their asses, so people would take them seriously or whatever. Just because there's like just like in a lot of other chats, there's a lot of anti-America stuff. So a lot of people who were buying, because back in the day, a lot of foreign countries would actually buy U.S. debt. You're having less and less countries over time buying U.S. debt and stuff. So you're at right now, what's going on? A lot of the buyers are Americans as well as American banks and corporations and retirement funds that are buying U.S. debt and stuff. So you still have a lot of other nations buying debt and stuff like that, but it's not as much as it used to be, as well as China would buy a lot of our debt and stuff, and that's not really the case as much anymore.
Yeah, they don't want to if they don't have to.
That's right, man. Big brain stuff going on tonight. That's right, man. But you know what? Let me give you the biggest brain
asset. Well, Bitcoin is the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin. Then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years, and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth.
I don't know who sounds crazier right now. I really don't.
I do. And it's not Michael Saylor.
It's not Michael Saylor, man. Jesus. Them olds, bro. Them olds, man. These olds. That was pretty intense. Shout out to Crypto Cashew. But that's pretty intense. But I mean, to tell you the truth, that's how a lot of to tell you the truth, if I'm being honest, people, the uninformed and the untaught and the layman, that's how they think we all are about crypto. Because once you actually learn about crypto, you're really passionate. Now, I'm not telling you to go mortgage your house and do all this crazy shit. I mean, Michael Saylor kind of like, whoa, he went off the deep end a little bit of that. Even us degenerates were like, yo, my boy, chill. He's like, go into credit card debt, borrow money, go cash loan advances, go to the pawn shop, steal your mom's purse, pawn all her jewelry.
Well, you remember this in the bear market? Everybody was fucking just making fun of Michael Saylor. People still will be up until we hit new all-time highs on what prices he basically bought Bitcoin at for MicroStrategy, right? And to be honest, if you look at it in hindsight, once we get the next 2 years of price action, he's not going to give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Lows are already in. He already understands that. Hopefully, maybe he does. Maybe he does.
I think he's at break even right now at this price,
right? Which is that's a great price to be for that, right? Because he knows, right, that Bitcoin's going towards 100K in the future. He knows it's going towards 250K, 500K, eventually $1 million down the road, right? So he's not going to look that crazy if you give it time.
You know what Sailor would have been really cool if Sailor did? If I was Sailor and like, because at that scale, when you have that much money, there's only a certain amount of coins you can buy. You really can't buy like if a coin has very low liquidity, you can't really buy unless a whale sells you a very large position. But then
I just bought 99% of all these coins. Oh shit! What do I do with them now?
Yep. I own all the Pepe, you guys, and then it just fucking skyrockets. No, but what I would have done for him if he had just done a 50-50 strategy, just by Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Now that Ethereum pays a dividend on top of that, it's a lot more. It makes it a lot easier because this whole time he could have been earning some yield on that Ethereum, and he could have been lowering his cost average on all these purchases and stuff. Even though it's a tiny amount, 4%, but over 2, 3, 4 years, it starts adding up to like really lowering that average. And then on top of that, with the gains we're making the next 2 years, he's only like a fucking genius, man. Yeah. And then on top of that, he has more cash to buy Bitcoin. He's like, I bought Ethereum. I bought Ethereum at these prices and stuff. And as Ethereum goes up, I'm gonna take the dividend, then take the dividends, and then I'll buy Bitcoin. And because I'm making more money off the money I'm making off Ethereum, I get more loans to buy more Bitcoin. And then he's got more crazier and crazier.
That's Michael Saylor's second bull market. First bull market, Bitcoin maxi. Second bull market, he turns into Ethereum maxi for making more Bitcoin, right? Which is great. He finally understands how to cultivate crypto. Congratulations, Michael, right? And then third bull cycle, he starts going into fucking deep new layer ones and fucking, because like by then the layer ones, which have been successful by that point, including Pulse Chain and stuff, will have high enough market cap that, you know, he'll be like, okay, I can start jumping into a little bit of this, you know. So
yeah,
hey, we'll get Michael Saylor there by the end of the decade. We'll have him in the crypto mindset course, and we'll get him set right, you know.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I think Saylor's selling either at the end of this cycle or next cycle. He's going to start taking some profits into cash or something like that because he wants to. Then he'll probably play the cycle decently. Okay, he'll probably buy too early in the bear market, but he'll still end up looking like a Chad, basically. Like, it's true. I mean, like he'll take a few billion in profit. It'll crash back down. He buys like in this, let's just say he'll buy like a $25,000 Bitcoin, and then we buy at 15 or 16 or below 20, but he'll still be like, he still bought a ton way lower than he'll end up with more Bitcoin than he started with anyway, and they'll still look like a genius, basically. So yeah, and he'll probably have to pay back some loans. But anyway, let's continue on with this rating.
The Bipartisan Policy Center later found that the 2011 debt limit debate cost us $18.9 billion in higher borrowing costs, even though we never defaulted. To put that into perspective, that could have been leveraged to provide up to $200 billion in loans to small businesses. Which
never happened at all. Like what these small business loans did not happen. The first time, I guess, if you want to be one, you know, if we're being for real, like that I know I was bitching about the whole, you know, where did the inflation come from and stuff from the small businesses. That's actually the first time small businesses actually got a loan, like got loans. That's why everyone and their mom took that loan and stuff like that. I mean, if the first one, of course, like for sure. I mean, I don't. If they're giving you free money. I saw a really interesting. Yeah, I saw a really interesting meme on there and stuff like that on Twitter and stuff where it was like, where was it? Like basically, it's like, you know, you feel better about the $2,000 you earn than someone giving you $100,000 and stuff, because I'd rather take the $2,000 and earned it than someone giving me $100,000. And then the next comment below it, don't ever listen to whatever this guy fucking says ever. He gives the worst advice in the world. So if you get the money, you're going to take it. But I mean, these businesses couldn't get loans. If these banks were all doing these loans, you would be able to get a loan. I when I was younger, I really thought, you know, like if I really had, I was so stupid at this point. You know, maybe it's my fault for being so I'm believing in like the system of America and all this other stuff. But I thought, you know, if you had an idea, you would go to the bank, even if it was half-assed, and the bank would give you a loan so you could try to see if you get your shit started, right? And go to a loan, even if you're professionally, you have like literally go to a bank right now and try to get a business loan. for anything that isn't like a standard, like a really standard business or something like that. Like if you have a crazy idea or something like that, like this is why a lot of the innovation in America and around the world is happening in crypto, because people will fund crazy ideas because that thing, it sticks sometimes,
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I'll mention something else later after we get through this. But anyways,
Sure. Let's go back a little bit.
Perspective, that could have been leveraged to provide up to 200 billion in loans to small businesses through the state small business credit initiative, or to provide hundreds of thousands of people down payment assistance to buy their first home. So I want to emphasize that House Republicans, including most of the Republicans on this committee, had no qualms about paying our debts when Trump was in office. 3 times they addressed the debt ceiling in a timely manner without holding our country hostage. But Republicans are ready to tear down the hard work of Americans everywhere to weather the pandemic.
Jerome is like fucking trying so hard not to roll his eyes.
he's just like, I'm really trying to pay attention here.
Jesus Christ, this lady's really trying to make me choose a side right now. Oh my God. God damn it.
And build back a strong recovery. Chair Powell, can you describe for us the risk you see if Congress continues to delay action on the debt limit, both for our economy and for individuals and families?
Let me start briefly by saying that we have no role and seek no role in what is really at the heart of fiscal policy, except I will limit myself to the 2 things that other Fed chairs have said about this. One is just that Congress raising the debt ceiling is really the only alternative. There are no rabbits in hats to be pulled out on this. 2 really is just that no one should assume that the Fed can protect the economy.
So you hear what he just said right there? There's nothing special right here. You guys need to raise or rent some deep shit.
Mm.
This is like
or the Fed has to call on David Blaine. I don't know.
David Blaine.
Just that Congress raising the debt ceiling is really the only alternative. There are no rabbits in hats to be pulled out on this. 2 really is just that no one should assume that the Fed can protect the economy from the non-payment of the government's bills, let alone a debt default or something of that nature, which we don't think will happen here. But no one should be thinking that we have the tools to protect the economy from all the potential effects of that.
So let me take this down. So one reason that he said that last little bit, right, what he keeps warning about, I believe that if they didn't raise the debt ceiling and shit started really going bad, the Fed actually would do it. They would print the money, but it would be very dangerous. What would happen there? I mean, that would start some hyperinflation there.
Yeah, and if they start to lose control of the wheel, what's going to happen? What's the easiest way for them to get out of any responsibility for that? War. So that's the default, if that happens.
Now, I don't want war to happen. Most people it's really a lot of innocent people that suffer in war. If we're being honest, man. It's a ton. And then there's a lot of what is that, like old men send young dudes to die for pointless shit all the time, right? Or maybe the quote was like old men's argument.
Yeah,
it's about that roughly.
Everybody who wants to know how the government operates, watch the movie The Fog of War. Everything is a number, especially you.
Right, man. Shout out to Max Payne, Smoke and Mirrors. That's right. But I hope it doesn't come. But here's the problem: is that you mess with the United States' ability to print money and the dollars and stuff. They will do just about anything. They'll blow up towers. They'll start fake wars. They'll invade a country under false production. They'll fucking say there's nuclear weapons in some place. Anything. You hurt that petrodollar. Freedom is coming to a store near you. You know what I'm saying? To a country near you.
To a shore near you.
Yeah. So this is actually pretty surprising. I mean, for you guys who haven't seen the Nelk Boy interview and stuff, Trump was on the Nelk Boys and stuff, and he actually was pretty. I don't know how to feel about this one. This is a weird one where, like, basically he was kind of saying like, yo, I mean, pretty much he said he would let Taiwan go down unless Taiwan signs basically like they start paying us money for defense. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
And if I were Taiwan, I definitely would.
Yeah, basically, I mean, basically, what the strategy is. I mean, basically, what's going on is we're deglobalizing. A lot of countries we've been subsidizing.
Correct.
Basically, the military for almost every country basically doesn't have much of a military. They do have a force, and of course, they got a police force and stuff, and they do have some military, right? But their military spending is nothing, and then they've been able to fund all that money that doesn't go into military spending goes into their economy. So they've been having a huge economic boost off the United States subsidizing them militarily as well as defending them, right? And keep making sure that everyone just stays in line. Basically, doesn't mean that other countries aren't doing bad stuff and stuff. I mean, every country does horrible shit, but that's what's going on. But as the United States starts pulling their military out of places and stops doing that stuff, if you want to, some countries need to be protected. And basically, I think what's going to start happening is that we're going to probably start taxing motherfuckers, and that's kind of what Trump was already doing. I mean, I mean, you guys remember? I said this on this stream with Rolo. That do you guys remember when oil went to zero?
Yeah, I actually had a ETF that I bought I think it was like $60. I want to see this shit go down. I didn't think it was going to go to fucking negative, but I was like, it's going down, and that chart was looking bad. What did these fuckers give me for being right? Nothing. Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, all these went basically tits up. You know, we're not paying anybody out. Right? It's a casino always to the traditional market. It's like that's why crypto rocks. But anyways. Kind of remember.
Now, a lot of that happened because of two things. All right. God damn it. I'm not trying to make this like a pro-Trump thing or a pro anything. So but it's just I gotta say it like the way it is, right? So basically, in 2016, basically we started rugging. A lot of the stuff that's happened right now is because we started a trading war and stuff to rebalance basically everything because everything was very favored against America versus pro-America, and then we started doing things to be a little more fair, and countries started spurting the fuck out basically because like no, you're supposed to subsidize me, you're supposed to do this, but how, and all this other jazz, right? China, I'm looking at you. Anyway, so the United States started that's when. So in around 2016, I guess you could say 2015, but it was really 2016 to 2020. We really started moving factories back to the States, Mexico, and stuff like that, and Canada. But more towards the closer we got to COVID, especially with COVID, that's what really like turned the fucking burner on, right? So around that time, because Republicans are really pro oil and stuff, drill. Fracking got to the point where basically we no longer were buying oil anymore from international markets. We were no longer buying Saudi oil at all. For about 4 months, maybe 3 months, but 4 to 3 months, we produced enough oil here in the country for the first time in like forever. I mean, since Standard Oil, damn near.
And all that industry helped also to get Bitcoin mining off and going in Texas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was correct. It was 0 minus 30 and stuff like that. But I got some funny stories. I'll say some. I got a lot of stuff on this. But we were energy independent for sure, right? We were energy independent. We finally hit that goal, and the Saudis lost their shit. They were like, "What?" Basically, oil went. I mean, basically, oil was like this was at the time. I think oil was very close to about $100. We're about $90, $100 a barrel, and the Saudis freaked the fuck out. And what they did they did a very calculated move. So they decided to sell 1% of their national oil company, a Saudi Aramco, and IPO it for $2 trillion.
Easy money.
1% of the company, $2 trillion. And the reason they did that is so they would be able to show their oil reserves to the market. And what they showed, so let me tell you, there's all this stuff. It's like, we have to conserve energy. We're going to run out of oil. Peak oil is hit right here. Oil is done. There's no more oil. We got to go to green energy. We got to do this stuff. Saudi Arabia showed they had trillions of barrels underground. Trillions. And this started over the next year or so. That started the collapse in oil prices. And what Saudi Arabia did is that they basically crashed the oil price to basically crush the fracking industry in the United States.
Hey, man, it's a money. What do you call it? Financial war is another form of war. You got cyber war, financial war. those are more the covert ways to fuck around with other nations. And that's what's going to be more popular this century than I think actual physical war. But we probably will have at least one big physical war, among a lot of different nations, enough nations to thwart other things like that in the future. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, if you're not in crypto, the future is looking a little, rough.
Yeah. So you want to go where the money is the freest and they can't stop and stuff. That's why we're so passionate about crypto. But this guy's right here, man. Rusko, shout out to you. They basically digitally flooded the market. That's digitally flooded the. They didn't release this oil, but they basically just showed they had an ace.
Yep.
And they flooded the market to kill our oil market intentionally. And they literally were saying this. We'd rather like, because basically if the United States stopped buying and stuff, and then things started happening across the world and stuff, they basically were saying they'd rather sell barrels of oil for $30 to $40 forever than for the United States to get energy independence. So they would they would rather not have $100 oil prices where everyone's making a ton of money. They would rather have $30 to $40 because they control the whole market at that point.
Yep.
So oil crashed down. That was good for the economy, right? I think Trump was being like, yeah, that's good, but the frackers were really hurting right there. So they helped really crush the fracking industry. Sorry, Texans.
And North Dakotans, don't forget about them.
And Canada. I mean, honestly, basically America's got hit hard on that and stuff because and Venezuela and everything else like that, right? So the whole Americas took a fucking L on that. They really did. So boom, that hurt everybody. That it crashed the prices, right? And then from there, what did they do? What did they do at that point, right? What Trump did is when oil did go negative, he's like, "Fuck, these fuckers did that." So instead, he ended up filling the entire strategic oil reserve for the United States. First time it's ever been filled in 50 fucking years.
A move that for a fact Biden would not have done in the same position.
Right. That takes a person that's been around in the markets for a while and seen like, okay, let's fill it up for pennies on the dollar. It's filled. There was so much oil in there that basically if they released all the strategic oil reserve, it would pretty much it could lower gasoline prices by $2 for a whole year. It's basically there to, for military purposes, or like if you end up having like something like Katrina happen, some natural disaster, that we need to supply oil there to, make sure things are running smoothly and stuff. So something like that, basically, that's strategic reserve. I mean, under Biden, oil only, they basically ran through the entire fucking reserve, and pretty much oil only went down 20 cents. And then it comes to find out later, they were fucking selling the oil to China.
You didn't have to cut me off. Think like it never happened, that we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
I would say a shoe for that, but that hurts my soul as an American. The oil reserves are down. They're not emptied out, but they're low. They're low. And now, if we're trying to fill them now, I mean, Jesus Christ, man, that is crazy. It's supposed to be there for war or for emergencies. I mean, but he says if they were using it to lower the gas price, it should have lowered it more. Bro, for most of my life, I think I remember, I think I was dating myself here. The cheapest I ever had gas ever in my life, I think it was $1.98. $1.98. That's the cheapest I ever filled up a tank. Most of my life, it's been around $2 to $3. I'm paying like $5 every time now, permanently. It was gasoline should be about closer to $3 right now. One way you could lower inflation down and you can actually help the economy out is if you actually have gasoline go lower. But they're pushing electric vehicles and stuff like that, even though I like Dodge and shit, but they basically have retired the V8 and stuff. And the Dodge, the Chargers and the Challengers are all going electric and stuff, which is fine. But they retired all the gasoline cars. They're subjugating us to the V6s.
Those credits going, baby.
But this is putting huge strain on the electrical system. now everyone they were pushing electrical grills on everybody a couple of years ago, and now they're getting mad at people with electric grills. They want you to go back on gas. Boy, I thought this was about saving the environment, not using natural gas.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's what they want you to believe, right?
Right. And then these electric cars end up creating way more CO2 emissions than a regular engine anyway, because of all the components that they're mining up and stuff. And they, of course,
mining's the problem, right?
Yeah. And we got to make sure that a lot of African children, digging the mines, the cobalt mines and stuff in Africa, in the Congo and stuff, we got to make sure they have jobs,
Make sure you get your iPhone.
Big facts. This is big facts, It's crazy. But with this antiquated, this is what's going to end up happening. With this antiquated grid, there's actually going to be money spent to actually repurpose and actually build out the infrastructure in the United States and stuff. Shout out to Red Pill Thor and stuff. We actually talked about this quite a lot because he used to work in the trades to actually put up power lines and stuff like that. So they're starting now to be spending on infrastructure finally here in the States. But when there's infrastructure spending, it's inflationary. This is another thing why, like Charlie and these guys at BlackRock are saying that 4% is going to be tough to go under. So we're pretty much, I think basically we're pretty much looking at a permanent kind of 3 to 4% interest rate. Inflation rate, which is whatever number the government gives you, double it. That's the real number.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to get down to 3%. I don't think they're going to be able to do it without like extreme measures.
I think a wick. I mean, I never want to say never, but there's always a wick. Yeah, like a wick.
And and especially like you said, with how they adjust stuff, yeah, it's possible, right?
Yeah, because we're barely seeing. People forget. Remember, dudes, we've been so right about so much shit, dudes. Like, shout out to all 250 you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit that notification bell for sure. Double check you have the notification bell because I'm telling you, man, YouTube is playing games out here, man.
Yeah, they take your notifications off every once in a while, right?
Yeah, it's really strange and stuff. It's kind of a crazy thing. Type one in the chat if you didn't see like the notification or you had to manually check it, man. I'm really wondering in the chat right now. Type one in the chat right now if you've had trouble in the past finding the stream and stuff, just because it's crazy how many people I have literally personally have told me that, like, dude, sometimes the streams I don't even see them like blasting out and stuff. This is sad. Oh man, dang. It's making me cry, Charlie. This is tears down my cheeks.
Well, here's the thing, right? The YouTube algo, right? When does it incentivize crypto channels? When we're at all-time highs. Because that's what gets views. I mean, that's how YouTube operates, right? So it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Damn, dude.
Fucking good information for y'all. And like, yeah, I think that 4% number for inflation is going to be a really big, important point for the rest of this year. I think the only person that I've heard talk about that and sees it coming, right, is the CEO of BlackRock. And I think you got to take that with a pretty good, level of, just like, okay. And the chart says it as well. It's very possible that, 4% is like, okay, it's what do we got to do? What other extreme measures can we do? And every option they have is not good. Pretty much.
Yeah. That is crazy. So, shoot. Damn, that made me sad. All the ones and twos, all the ones. But hey, man. Thank you so much, man. No, I appreciate Benny, man. He's like you said, we're good guys, man. I appreciate that, dude.
Yeah. Well, you guys are too, so thanks.
Man, shout out to all you champions out here, man. We appreciate you guys a lot and stuff. Make sure to please subscribe and the notification bell, and just check up on us for once in a while. We do pretty cool shit. we're Santa Claus in this market, man. When DCC and CC are calling, man, it's Christmas time.
There we go. And Max Payne, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the inflation rate.
God, yeah. We sometimes say inflation or the other thing.
And sometimes we jump topics as well. There's something that I'm thinking about that you're not, and vice versa. So yeah,
correct. But for all 250 of you guys, man, Crypto Mindset Q2 is out right now, man. Get in the course right now, man. We're gonna be talking about everything you need to fucking survive this bullshit that the olds are putting us through, man. For real, man. Like I'm serious, man. We put, I mean, even to our health. Like honestly, I have risked my health a lot for this course, a lot.
Dude,
Charles as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with some stuff that's a little bit, not as good, but like it's, so I mean, got to get that sleep too. But I mean, no sleep, gang, man. You gotta make some sacrifices sometimes to make sure that everybody is in the right spot.
Definitely, man. Crypto Mindset Q2 is out right now, man. It's 3 days. You have 3 days to get in. Get in right now. You pay with crypto. You get a 15% discount. All the things you need to know are down here, man. This right here. 15% off. You send this much, $847.45 in Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you use the Bitcoin Karma list below to be able to do that transaction there, and you'll get that discount. If not, it's better to use your debit or credit card right here instead of paying with. You can pay with Apple Pay. I mean, not Apple Pay. I think Google Pay,
GPay, PayPal.
GPay, PayPal, and as well as debit or credit card and stuff like that. So definitely sign up now, man. I'm telling you, this best course in the freaking world, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
somebody in the chat said you can sleep when you're dead, but you don't want to. You have to be able to. What do you call it? Be alive to sleep. Otherwise, it's a long sleep. But anyways, what were you gonna say?
Now, Danny Hugo, is it better to spend a G on the course or just buy Bitcoin, man? You don't be. If I'm being for real, I mean, if you only have a G and stuff like that, I'd definitely get the crypto course, right? But if you're going to be in the market for a while and you like, if you're serious about investing in crypto, get in the course. Dollar cost averaging, get in stuff because I promise you, if you're new to the market, you know what you're doing, you're gonna get rolled, bro.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, what they look at, right, is like, what are you paying for in the course, right? You're paying for essentially a shit ton of research handed to you on a silver platter, and right, if you take on that research, you take on that information with gusto, and right, you do your own research and you apply it and all that stuff. Magically, all of a sudden, you see a lot more opportunities out here for different types of magic carpet rides, right? And so, you can buy Bitcoin and do that, but we tend to have a lot of people that tend to outpace the market with, the knowledge that they're stacking there, and then, long term, if you stack that knowledge, right, you always have your money tree. You don't have to kill your money tree. You don't have to basically, not only shear the sheep, but bleed it out. And now you have no more coins, right? Instead, right, we teach you essentially how to keep that money printer going, how to keep, your coins going for you long-term, so that what can you do over the long term? You can continue to dollar cost crypto, cultivate crypto, stack coins, make mad gains more than the market. So, but hey, do what you want to do.
Shout out to Nellyville, man. Got a $400 discount to CMC Q2 for being in the Citadel and paying with crypto. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, so anyone who's in the Citadel right now, you basically, for every month you're in the Citadel, you get a $50 discount. So my man used all the bonuses and stuff like that and got a massive discount. Shout out to you, Nellyville, man. This guy's a long-time supporter, good dude, man.
How many X's is Bitcoin up from its low?
Good amount, like 2X plus. Yeah, 2X.
Right. And what's the average amount of X's people who took the last Crypto Mindset course are up?
2 to 5.
So, yeah, do the math.
Yeah. Opportunity cost not being in the course, man. I'm telling you, man.
Correct.
But Max Payne, I was referring to the Fed target for inflation. It's currently 2%, right? Which is their mandate. They always want a 2% inflation rate. That's their mandate. They don't want zero inflation. They want 2% inflation, so that over time lessens the burden of debt. Basically, allows them to pay debt faster off without really just you are slightly destroying the purchasing power of the dollar, but you're also eroding debt as well. So for the people who are really debt laden, a lot on the real estate market, that 2% is really a saving grace. But they might be looking to increase it to 4. That would be crazy if they increase it to 4. It's more of like they're because for a long time the inflation's been higher like that, but they've always said 2, but they just let it go for a while. So I think they're going to probably keep it to 2, but I could see them more of just chilling out and seeing what happens and then being very quiet about it. But as soon as that spikes up, we could actually get the Fed increasing rates again and really like, boom, hitting it down and stuff. So, but shout out to Max Payne, man. Always in the chat, man. I appreciate you, dude. Oh, thanks, bro. Happy to support you. Yeah. Kaki, the course is worth it, man. I'm taking my second course, paid it with hex gains from the first course. Sheesh.
There you go.
There we go, man.
That's how to do it. You got that right crypto mindset, baby.
Yeah, man. GC, what's going on to the lizards, man? The Citadel discount was nice this time around. Yes, sir.
Nice. Good. Glad you used it.
That's why we made the Citadel for our longtime supporters, man, to give them like a thank you back. Really was, man. Conito, I think you missed my last super chat. Do you see the way I appreciate the answer for my question? Did you
Yeah,
super
just
chat?
scroll up. There was one when you were in the middle of a video, I think.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll answer it before we end the stream and stuff. I'll pull it up, I promise. But thanks a lot, man. Okay, Benny Blanco. Hex is capped at 3.69 inflation rate, Fibonacci numbers, inflation per year. Most of it goes to stakers who are locked for a long time. That's correct. Yeah. Basically all as long as there's over 3%, if there's at least 3.6% of the supply being bought up every year, which it is, you basically have no inflation really in Hex. And then most of it's staked out. The average staking length is over 7 years. So really the inflation is actually pushed out quite farther into the future. And it's really distributed among the true believers of Hex. So the people who are getting all the Hex are the people that actually believe in Hex, which is kind of in a way like that kind of how Ethereum is a little bit. That's gone closer to that, but it's still soft. Like I call Ethereum soft staking versus hard staking like Hex and stuff. But that's pretty cool. Nobody or Noonday 69 with the $2 super chat bought the course with free alpha. Thanks, guys. Sheesh. You see, people getting the course just off of games. We made them off of YouTube, man. Like we're out here. Like since the bear market started, we have streamed more than we actually streamed even in the bull market. That's how much we've been trying to we've been banging the war drums to don't stop paying attention. Pay attention right now. This is the time where you can get people are going to call you the lucky guys. Oh, you guys are so lucky. Oh my God. You guys got to buy Ethereum low and stuff. But what about me? I just got in now. Well, dude, where the fuck have you been, bro?
Right.
Yeah.
MIA for some of these people.
Right. Definitely, man.
And those people tend to buy tops. It is what it is.
Where is it? Boom. Okay. Caught up, man. Oh, yeah, Mitch Ray, sure. The Fight Club opportunities alone are worth the cost of the course. Highly recommend. Definitely, man. And definitely join the Citadel as well, man. But, yeah, there's a lot of fight clubs that go on for sure, man. Danny Hugo, did you mention the schedule for the course? It's posted somewhere. It's coming out very soon. It's very soon. We're going to have a schedule. Yeah.
So all you need to know on the schedule right now is we're starting the first webinar on Saturday, May 6th at 10 p.m. Eastern, right? And then we're finishing either on the 20th or 21st, which is a Saturday, Sunday. So basically we got that. Of course, that schedule is adjustable, right? Because there's always, new stuff happening in the market. Sometimes we got to, take a day off for you guys because you need more time to, just absorb and refresh, some of that information. So we'll give you guys the useful thing about the schedule is the start and end point. And then, the topics of webinars that we got going for you guys. So we'll get all that out to you here tomorrow.
Now, I'll answer the super chat that I missed earlier, man. $10 super chat. I appreciate the answer. I'm going to dump the IRA straight into Zen. JK, LOL. My first.
Is it just?
Yeah, I'll pull it. Yeah. Well, I have to pull it.
It might be only on the YouTube side because StreamYard, it doesn't always. Yeah, never mind. Sorry about that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll show it here. I learned this.
Yeah.
I'm learning tricks from Fresh and Fit. Look at this.
Yeah,
look at me.
Sit behind Big Mo and Chris, has its benefits, right?
Yeah. Canarito, a $10 super chat. Appreciate the answer. Going to dump the IRA straight into Zen. JK, LOL. My first CMC was in Q3 of 2022. I'm up 2.5 to 3x across my portfolio now. Thanks to you guys. I'm going to accumulate like crazy this year. Sheesh. That deserves an old school Pepe, man. Woo. 3 years of gains. Let me tell you how much it is. That's a decade in equities. Made in 6 months. Not too shabby.
It's pretty good.
Not too shabby. I'm saying they say a month in crypto is like a year in equities, man. Man, so he made even more than 10. He made like 12 years of gains in 6 months, man. Hey, I love it. I love it, man.
But inflation takes some work, and he put it in the work.
You put in the work, man. But now I'm going to answer one quick aside, and we'll get back to our main topic about the Fed and the market and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, once we get back to that, I will show that inflation chart just so it's that what I'm talking about there is clear, and basically, because I think I mentioned it a couple times, but yeah, I just want to make sure it's clear.
Right. Corey Rudforth, Redforth, the $5 super chat and stuff. I think I paid for the course, but no confirmation. Should I? What should I do? I don't want to miss out. Or not.
Because I think I heard him mention this a little bit earlier, which the bank might not have given him confirmation either, which in that case might mean the payment was stalled or something or paused. But basically, if it's been more than 24 hours since you purchased the course, send us an email at support@cultivatecrypto.com and we'll take care of you right away, Corey. I know you've been diligent watching the channel for a very long time, both of our channels, and so we'll definitely help you out. Just double check, all your folders and stuff like that. And then if it's been 24 hours, then reach out to us, please.
Definitely. Since we're having so much signups right now, you will get the link for the Telegram group and all the other stuff within 24 to 48 hours. We're onboarding people as fast as we can right now into chats and stuff. So don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry. If you pay for the course, you will get in. Don't worry. And Corey, for sure, if for some reason something's going on with your bank, we know you try to get in. We'll let you in. Don't worry.
Yeah. And it should be 24 hours. I think we can get it in 24. But again, you can feel free to send us an email.
Max Payne, DCC. How long do you honestly feel Pulse Chain will be pre-bridge after launch? 48 hours, 48 days. Why? Okay. Right now, off the best information that we have right now, it's looking like it's probably going to be 48 hours, 2 days. So it looks like we're probably going to have a 1 day heads up on the snapshot. And then once Pulse Chain launches, we're getting like 2 days, no bridge phase. It could be a little bit longer, but that's pretty much what it's looking like right now. As well as, we just had Richard play around with the bridge and just say, hey, look, the testnet bridge, go play with it. Interesting, right? So you're like, ooh, cool, right? So we're getting these little hints here and there. So, but you never know. Things could lag out a little bit longer, and it could be a week and stuff. But we have strategies for all this stuff. We're going to be talking about it in the course. But it's leaning more towards like a one day heads up for the snapshot. Probably like a day or two of cool off, and then the launch of Pulse Chain. And then you'll have 48 hours to like get your tokens, do all this other stuff, and then the bridge opens up from there. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about groups to groups and everything about strategies about that in the course as well as fight clubs. So there you go, man. And there's one question I saw here earlier, Alice, right here. Will you be covering Pulse Chain and PulseX strategies if Pulse Chain launches the next weeks? Yes, but to the guys in the course, as well as anyone who's taken our previous products, we're going to make sure to help everybody get onboarded and make sure that they do it safely and correctly. But the advanced strategies and stuff are going to go to the guys who are in this current crypto mindset course.
Yeah. And, we'll be off of YouTube for pretty much a month, or 3 weeks to a month. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
It's, we take care of the fam, man.
Yep. Let's for life.
Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. What is the last day for the course in terms of the sales, or I'm guessing maybe the last day of the sign up? Yeah. It's this Tuesday at midnight. It closes. So you have 3 days and some change to get in right now. You have 3 days and 2 hours to get into the course before it closes. In terms of the last day of the course, it could be somewhere between the 27th, maybe 28th of May, just depending on.
I would say that week from the 20th to the 27th, because there might, if we do need to extend anything, Pulse Chain launches or whatever, right? Then yeah, we'll add days for sure.
We'll add days for sure. Yeah, definitely, man. And Alice, man, amazing. I'm glad in the course. Sheesh. And why are you worrying, brother? Why are you worrying? What are we talking about, man? You already hit it big, baby. Sheesh. You're taken care of, man. What are we talking about, man? Last day to sign up, and will you be active in the Citadel? We'll be taking care of the Citadel, doing stuff like that. But what we're going to do in terms of flash webinars and the calls, that's why the Citadel is going to get taken care of when if Pulse Chain launches, you'll be getting helped with how to get started in the setup and stuff. So
yeah, we'll be active in the both chats, because the Citadel, we're always active.
Correct, man. Now, let's get back to the main topic, right? So,
just before, can I show that chart real quick?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Let me grab it here real quick.
Sheesh, Charles Warren, man, I've decided to stop being poor and I joined. Yeah. Shout out to you, man. Another non-poor brother, man. We're sending more and more people rugging this financial system. I love it.
I love it.
Let me full screen you, man. There you go.
All right. Let me know when it's good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So this is the U.S. inflation rate year on year. Basically, this is the number that comes out every month here for the CPI index, right? And the last print for the month of March, right, was essentially 5% here, right? And we came down from that peak up here, right, in June of last year, right, which was the bottom of the market for Ethereum, where we were at, almost 9%. And so that downtrend, right, is something that the Cultivate Crypto algo basically found, right? There was a sell signal here at 8.3 and another one here at 5.3. So essentially, once you get inflation below those levels, that will speed up or continue the downtrend, right? So that's one of the reasons on a technical analysis level why, right, inflation's continue to go down. Obviously, the fundamental view of, is everything that the Fed's been doing. So, and they're both, linked there in terms of how you're looking at it. So for, the next few rates, right, they're going to try to bring it down to 4%. And I think they could actually, right, bring it below there. It's very possible, but where there's a little bit of support against pushing inflation down there, essentially is here. We got this 50 moving average, basically 50-year moving average, which is at 4.1, right? And this one here, right, could be an area where you see price kind of, or not price, sorry, you see inflation bounce back up a little bit. And that, even if you just get like you come down here, let's say in May, right, or for the month of April, but announced in May, it comes down to, let's say, 4.25%. And then the next one comes back up to like 5 or 5.1 or something in June, let's say. That'll freak the fuck out of the Fed for sure, right? And it'll freak the fuck out of a lot of the market. So paying attention to this is, I think, really important. And if we turn on the Bollinger Bands too, right, that's where you see even more. That's going to take a lot of effort, for the Fed to really get inflation down here below that 4%. And like you said, a wick is very, very possible. And if it does happen, right, it's probably not going to come down all the way here to that 200 moving average, which is at 5 or 2.4, right? So I think it's pretty much not impossible, but very, very difficult for them to get it back down to 2% without pulling some shenanigans. And so, again, when the CEO of BlackRock also basically, I was saying this on streams a little earlier, and then I basically saw, the CEO of BlackRock say the same thing, but from a very different angle, right? And it's just nice to see what he called confluence on those types of things, because that tends to point to something that is, I think, quite important to understand, because I think there's a lot of people out there, right? They're not looking at the market in this way. And then also when you see RSI here coming down to the oversold area, where it got down here to 30 back during the pandemic crash, and then, bounced there. So if we got down to that oversold level, you could, and, that might be down at 3.8% or 4.1%, right? But that could lead to another increase in inflation here. So again, the Fed would shit their pants to some extent, if they see inflation starting to go back up, especially after putting so many measures in place, right, to increase the rates.
Yeah, because we could see maybe just like a month or two of the inflation going up, and then once that third month confirms of it going up, oh man, bam, we get slammed, dude. That is no bueno, dude. So that's something we're gonna be really watching, is if that starts spiking up, and that's yeah, because they're very serious about inflation. Now, let me show one thing real quick. I want to show you guys when the next Fed meetings are going to be on the handy dandy StreamYard. Bam. Okay, man. So welcome to federalreserve.gov/monetary policy/blah, blah, 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 blah. Now, the next meeting is May 3rd to May 4th. So we'll be done with done with the sales of the courses at that point. So this will more than likely probably be the last stream I do on YouTube, which I'm going to react to the Fed meeting
Yep.
that comes out and stuff to make sure you guys will be able to still on YouTube get the Fed meeting, and we'll make sure that we're watching to see how the Fed's reacting to the time. But more than likely, we're looking at a 25 basis point increase, and we're looking for one in May, June, and July is kind of the if number if it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it's looking like right now, and how these guys are like to ride lightning and and play by the seat of their pants and by the skin of their teeth, it's looking like the last increase we're going to have is going to be in July. So July 26th to the 27th, we are going to get the Fed pivot in that month. So we're going to get 25 in May, 25 in June, 25 in July, which will bring us to 5.5% on the federal fund rate, which means if you have shitty credit, you is paying over 10% for a house, 30-year fixed mortgage. You guys?
Oh, you just said Jesus. Jesus
Christ.
Lord have mercy.
Man, your bank account's going to be like.
oh boy. That's like, it's funny now, but that ain't funny, bro.
I know that's not funny, but it's funny, bro.
But you do have to have a sense of humor with how ridiculous the financial system is at this point right now.
Right. Now I wanna say one quick thing. Ma right here, right? Is that a bunny rabbit with Ethereum eyes? Oh no, just sunglasses. Oh
yeah, just cool shades.
He said, Jesus, ... Americans are effed. No, everyone's effed.
Exactly.
Because if the United States is increasing interest rates, every other bank has to increase their interest rates to compete and be competitive, because if their interest rates are lower, that means that their debt pays cheaper. So their interest rates have to increase so their debt pays more to make them competitive against the United States. And on top of that, if the US dollar is inflating, then they have to print more of their dollars to inflate so they're competitive for exports. This is bad. No bueno, you guys. Not great. And on top of that, the United States has the best. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were showing our faces here. The United States has the best real estate market on the planet. Most other countries are running with Okay, let me see. As an American, I'm gonna show you how silly I think you guys look. The rest of the world, because the United States does 30-year fixed mortgages, 15. They do 10, 15, 20. 30 and 40. The 40s are ridiculous. You guys don't do 40s, but 30, right? And most people are doing adjustable rate mortgages or balloons or ARMs. I can't believe some like the UK and most of England and most of the world's how stupid they are on real estate. It's incredible. They copied everything but how we do real estate. It like boggles my mind.
Well, you gotta give it to the UK. They did, before America existed, right? They did basically like show how to, fucking do the global hustle, which the Fed is, working on right now in a different way.
So I'm gonna present to you guys the Suicide Squad. This is how this is how me as an American, how I think about your real estate market across the planet. It's pretty insane. And then a lot of, actually, I forgot what country this was. A lot of countries, you basically are almost paying not just paying cash, but it is I think Australia has a really funky real estate market. It's quite strange.
Melbourne is extreme. Like there's some it's kind of like the houses in like San Francisco and stuff, just like ridiculously priced with terrible houses and buildings on the land, like old shit, right? So yeah. It's kind of like that.
Now, Ma, let's say, do you guys think? Oh, I know. I'm sorry. This one. I can't get more than a 1 to 5 here. Wow. Wait. How can I ask? Like, what is the prices of houses where you live in terms of like what's the average price in the country? That's insane. Dang. 30 years fixed mortgage is crazy. I mean, that's what I'm saying is like now that's still a long time, but this is why that the Fed has a 2% inflation rate target, is because that 2% will devalue the dollars. And so basically it makes it advantageous. It makes people want to get onto debt because your debt's being made worth less over time so you can pay it back easier. So like when your parents bought their houses back in 2000, right? When your parents bought their houses in 2000, the amount of debt that they owed and stuff, the payment was expensive at the time. Anytime you buy a house, anytime you buy a house, it's expensive. But then over time, as time goes on, like people start going like, I mean, like I think my parents still owe their mortgage. Every time like my parents tell their friends what their mortgage is, they're like, what? How much are you paying? Like, it is like pitiful. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like
Well,
Section
here's the
8 level.
thing. You know, the American dream is just that. You have to be asleep to believe it, right? Hashtag George Carlin. He knew that shit fucking way in advance.
Yeah.
That shit's getting real. You know what I mean?
That's
You're gonna make a new club, and it's called the Citadel, right? You ain't in the big club, but you can be in this one.
So my area is 800,000 to 1.2 million in Melbourne. Damn, the interest rates are that's about normal. That's pretty good, but and then you can only get a one. You only have to.
I bet that house is probably like not anywhere in the last 2 decades built. Like, not saying, not for him in particular, but like a lot of Melbourne, like I had some friends who live there and stuff, and like they have houses that they've just been real old. They've held in their family for ages, like a couple $1 million, just because of the song.
Corey Rugforth, UK here in BC, be careful. He's like, watch yourself, bro. That's hilarious. Now, but these are sort of interesting sort of things. So I mean, but it's the things. The master reserve, a Federal Reserve, is the Federal Reserve for the United States. The master central bank is the Federal Reserve. So if the Federal Reserve starts doing anything, almost everyone copycats or doesn't or does things that are ahead of it and stuff. I mean, you haven't had certain central banks even do more than what the Fed does just so they look like they're doing their job better. A lot of it's all a Ponzi, you guys. It's all a confidence game. It's all mental. Jerome, I have shown this on my stream. Jerome Powell, legitimate, just saying it. It's all about confidence. What does that mean? It's all about making everyone believe.
Do you think the government? Well, this is like, anyways, I'll just say it because it's true. Do you think the government that basically, destroyed an entire group of people in terms of, Americans, real Americans, right? And did that through different ways of fuckery, right? In order to take land and all that stuff. Do you think that same government's not going to do that to you? They'll do it to you in a stealth way so that you don't understand the hustle that they're doing. That's why they're telling you with CNBC all this bullshit, right? That's why Maxine Waters is reading a script, right? They're just running another hustle on you, right? UK ran their hustle a while back, right? There's all these countries in history that have done it. The Catholic Church had theirs, right? It is what it is. This is the end of the industrial age of the United States, is flailing at that, but every fiat currency has had its trouble in the past. And so also, again, going back to the same thing, I feel like I'm a broken record on it, but it just means Michael Saylor's right. Buy fucking Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, get into this market, understand this shit, because everything that we're saying here tonight is really important for your financial future. And a lot of people are going to take this information too cavalier, and they're not going to actually, take advantage of it, I think. But, if you jump in the course and you jump in the Citadel or one or the other, I think, you have a good fighting chance to have financial self-sovereignty. Whereas, like you said, right, your parents are just like, are you fucking kidding me on those rates, right? It's going to get worse, not getting better. You have to save yourself. And this is the way to do it.
This is the way to do it. So, you guys, we have 10 days, 12 hours, 30 minutes, and 21, 20, 19, 18 seconds until the next Fed meeting, you guys. So be on the lookout. I'm going to have a stream for you guys to make sure to explain all this Fed talk and also just hear the little subtleties and changes of like what they're going to talk about and stuff. So shout out to the boys and stuff like that. But wow, let's see. Yeah, Charlie, our rates here went from 1.78 to 6% in 6 months.
Oh, wow. God damn, you could give somebody a heart attack. Probably, I bet you somebody actually had a heart attack from that and like died. They're probably like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I really think if the U.S. real estate market's in trouble, I can't imagine internationally how much trouble everyone is.
Yep.
In China, you can't even own your own property. You're renting it from the government.
Ghost cities.
You have to pay a payment mortgage for a property that it's just you're going to have it for 99 years if you want to keep it and then you have to give it back to the government.
It's not your money. It's just your turn.
I did the stream with Rollo a while back. I keep mentioning Rollo because we've done some really good streams. But I think Charlie, you're here for this one. We talked about how the Chinese government mixed the sexual marketplace with real estate. Because there's these things where like they're trying to link single women with eligible bachelors and stuff like that, and men. And basically, if your portfolio, if your little what is that social media and stuff when you're trying to get hired and stuff? I forgot the name of it.
LinkedIn. LinkedIn,
yeah. Your LinkedIn is basically like they're like change. Okay, no, I don't want to. I was gonna role play, Charlie.
Jesus.
Sheesh. Anyway, money this, money that. They basically give it to a bunch of anyway, there's literally a stock market. There's basically a stock market for getting you a wife in China and stuff. And basically they take all the bachelors here and stuff, and they take all the women, and then what they do is they cross-reference you with how much properties you have. So it's like they're both pretty good looking guys, but this one's got 3 houses. 3 houses. And the family will go into debt, and people say that's crazy. People go into debt in Japan for fucking weddings. Like yeah.
Don't ever marry a Nagoya woman. Jesus Christ, man.
Wait, what? Out of experience?
Some crazy horror. It's basically the Midwest of Japan, like the Chicago of Japan. And
the Chicago.
Oh God, like they like it's just they're just famous for being insufferable in terms of like asking way too much for fucking weddings and shit. Like, anyways.
Really?
Yeah. I was trying to think of any Chinese I know. I'm like, kamsahamnida. No, wait, that's Korean. God damn it. The Chinese would hate me if I said. It'd be even worse if I said that than anything else. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, we're not Korean. Like, they take so much more offense to that.
Oh my God, Dustin Olson, Chinese Imperial Harem. That's right. That's right. But no, I mean, there's a really funny video on Instagram that I like because I barely for the first time in the last 6 months I'm using Instagram. But on Instagram there's you're talking about racist shit. Like there's a really funny video about like the stereotypical fucking African what's it called African fucking documentary and stuff. So they put like this black man and then it's like they're making all dude. I'll link it to you guys. I ain't gonna play it on YouTube, but it's ridiculous. But basically it's like, oh, I am poor. I have to take care of my 54 children and stuff. All I have is sperms.
Hey, man, you just go around as many banks as possible, you know?
Yeah, man. Just making donations, baby. But you guys, hey, we're going to be here for you guys and stuff always and forever and stuff like Crypto Mindset to the Moon. Make sure to join Crypto Mindset Q2, you guys, man. We 3 days. That's it, man. That is it. 3 days or poor. That is it right here. Here's a link, you guys. Get in, you guys. The Fed, the way everything's positioned, basically they're going to have to print, and if they have to print dollars, that means they have to buy assets. Asset prices increase, which make other asset prices increase, which means if you're not in the capital class, you are going to get poorer and poorer and poorer, and people who own houses, who own equities, who own crypto are going to get richer and richer and richer. And let me tell you this, it doesn't take a lot of money to pump crypto in the grand scheme of things. And with that, man,
$1 million of Tether was just printed, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I love it.
Doesn't take a lot, but that'll do.
But with that, you guys, we'll catch you guys here tomorrow. I think we're doing your stream. Basically, I think we're doing your stream
in the early to mid afternoon, something like that in Eastern time. So, like probably somewhere between, depending on how it goes, somewhere between 2:30 to 4:30 is usually the band Eastern. That we'll be working with on Sunday. Once we get back to Monday or whatever, I'll put it on the regular schedule, which would be 5 p.m. Eastern.
Definitely. And check out a lot of our streams. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to be on Fresh and Fit again on Monday, Money Mondays, baby. DCC and CC back on Fresh and Fit. And we're going to be doing a lot of streams, a lot of guys, Sterling, Waller, Rollo. We got a lot of streams coming up for you guys. So with that, man, I'll leave you with the man of the hour.
Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay? But take all your money, buy Bitcoin, then take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin, then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing that you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works